The African world is really confused right now about the Kenyan's ETA, Electronic Transit Authority, if that's what it means. And many of us don't know what the hell is going on in Kenya right now, or what are the processes that we need to move forward. But it's not just those in the diaspora, it is Kenyans themselves. If you can look at some of these comments, even Kenyans are pissed about what's going to happen. And not even just Kenyans, or African Americans, or Black British. You even have Ugandans who are living in Kenya who really don't know what's going on. And in this video, I have 4 exact problems with the ETA, or the issues that the ETA refuses to address, at least right now. So let's get into those reasons and then we'll come back. Issue number 1. What is the relationship between the electronic travel authorization system in Kenya and the East African tourist visa? Let me kind of explain what I'm asking there. The East African community is actually large. It's probably the biggest community in Africa. There is Uganda, there is Rwanda, there is Burundi, there is South Sudan, there is the Congo, and now there's Somalia. It could be some other countries, but those are the main ones. Out of those countries, there are 3 countries that have decided to honor a visa in which you can go to all 3 countries by paying one price. That is Kenya, that is Rwanda, and Uganda. Now with those 3 countries, how it currently works, if you purchase the East African tourist visa, what happens is for $100, you can visit Uganda, Rwanda, and Kenya for 90 days as long as you don't leave outside of that area. So if you want to go to Uganda, Rwanda, Kenya, back to Rwanda, back to Uganda, you can do so with those particular arrangements. My question is this: if I get the East African tourist visa and I try to go to Kenya, will they say, "Where is your ETA? And did you not apply?" That is the issue that I have, because in this particular situation, it appears that Kenya is operating independently of the East African tourist visa. Now, it might not seem like a lot to you, but imagine, you going on the plane and the people that are from the states you're getting on to, let's say, an international flight, and they don't recognize this visa because they're concerned about this ETA thing. So you may or may not be able to get on the plane. That's happened to me before, where they're calling around trying to get answers because the people who are letting you on the plane, they may be confused. So that's something I believe that should be talked about, or should be answered by the East African community. Does this East African tourist visa override the ETA? That's number 1. Number 2, how does the work permit in any of these countries affect the electronic travel authorization? So, me living in Uganda, I have a work permit. It is a 3-year work permit, which treats me in the same vein as a Ugandan resident. So I have residency in Uganda. Now, usually I can go over to Kenya and I would get at the border patrol what you're seeing here. It's called an interstate pass. So once I show my work permit, they will give me an interstate pass. This operates somewhat as a visa. When I get into Kenya or Rwanda, they will stamp, not my passport, but they would stamp this interstate pass thing you're seeing. And then when I leave the country, they will also exit on this interstate pass. That is currently how it works. However, I'm afraid if I need to go to Kenya, I can't go and book a flight and then go there because there could be some confusion, right? So does my work permit make me still have to do the ETA? I am probably gonna still do the ETA because I don't want to have any problems, right? So let's get into reason number 3. If you are a Ugandan and you want to do business in Kenya, how does the ETA affect you? Now, here's what has happened. There used to be a bank account requirement that the Kenyan immigration was requiring. Recently, within the last 1 or 2 days, they have dropped that. So you no longer have to provide a bank account. Now, you do have to do this when you want to go to Nigeria. Now, you have Ugandans who do business in Kenya, especially in Mombasa. So what happens to the Ugandans is they have a 6-month exemption. So they don't have to pay this ETA right now. But the question is, what happens after the 6 months? Nobody knows, all right? Now, here's something else. For those people who are driving in trucks, getting deliveries, they come in the country and come out of the country. However, with this EAC, it does work as a visa. Imagine you have a visa, and once you leave a country, you would then need to reapply to enter into the country to come back again, right? Exactly. So if you have an ETA and they're forcing Ugandans to do this, you guys got to understand how the East African community works. You typically don't need a visa at all to show up from Uganda to Kenya. It's just, you can just walk in. Now, Kenya is saying you need to fill this ETA out in order for you to come into the country after 6 months. So what if I'm delivering goods or services, into Kenya from Uganda? I'm a trader. You're telling me every time I leave the country, I need to apply and come back within 3 days? How is that going to affect trade? And number 4, if you are an investor into the Kenyan market and you want to be able to expand your business because of, the Africa Free Trade Agreement and things like that, you would like to transport goods from Kenya to Tanzania or Kenya to Uganda or Kenya to Rwanda, however you want to do it. Would you want to deal with these particular hassles that are going on with the ETA? These things are not only unclear to blacks in the diaspora and other Africans, it seems to be also unclear to Kenyans. Now, with that being said, I want to go back on the camera and then we'll close it out. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that. This video in no way was intended to insult the great country of Kenya or its great citizens. Kenya is my second home. I'm there quite often. The channel is called Kinganda, so we already know that I love Kenya. But let me know if you have answers to this. And also, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for supporting us. And we'll see you guys next time.